Hey everybody, it's Charlie from Daily Motor, and today we've got an exciting fuel economy test here. It's the new Kawasaki Z500, specifically the SE edition, giving us a little bit of extra windshield, some ABS, I think they all come with ABS at this point, some frame sliders, special wheels, and a few other goodies, including that TFT display that we'll see here in a moment. But the reason this is exciting is because what was the Z400 and is now the Z500 is one of the most exciting bikes for a beginner sort of rider. It's got right up at the top level of power that you can have under a European A1 license. Now, of course, here in America, that's irrelevant because we can go out and buy a Hayabusa as long as you don't even need to have your motorcycle endorsement technically. You can just go out and buy a Hayabusa. But if you're smart and you want to start on something that's light, comfortable, within enough power to have fun, but not so much that you're going to easily get yourself into super illegal and dangerous situations, the Z500 is one of the best options right now for you. For about $6,000, you can get this special edition, like I said, with these frame sliders already built in. So if you dump it over, which there's a decent chance you will as a beginning rider, it's going to hit these, which are easily replaceable instead of damaging your pretty plastic work that will cost you a lot of money. And it's just an easy bike to ride. So in today's test, we're going to go out and see what sort of fuel economy you could expect if you were just commuting around on this motorcycle, not hooning it in the mountains, not running 90 miles per hour on the highway, but riding and mixed driving. We're going to do a little bit of 30, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour roads, some highway, some spirited riding, some stop and go. It's going to be a good mixture. And when I'm riding, I'm going to take off kind of casually, as you might when you're going into the office in the morning or head to school or something like that. Nothing too crazy. We're going to ride it normally. And I'm going to stay within about 5 miles per hour of posted speed limits. And a few other things to note: if you want to see more on the bike, check the link below. We've got a full review coming. We've also got these fuel economy tests for a lot of other sort of bikes. We just tested the Honda XR150L, so another kind of entry-ish level bike, a good bit cheaper than this one even. And that was a fun one. It even survived on the highway. But I'm really curious about this one because about 51 horsepower as you're looking at it, about 37 pound-feet of torque. It's got enough power to really have fun. Should cruise on the highway, pretty decent revs. It'll be interesting to see what we're cruising at 70 miles per hour. But without any further ado, let's get rolling. Now, a few other things to note for the test. Outside temperature, I think it's about 65 degrees right now. Our tire pressures have been set to their cold PSI placard, 28 front, 32 rear. And we're going to just be running 87 octane because that's all that this bike needs. It's going to be so hard not to just sit there flipping the throttle the whole time while I'm testing this bike. I actually don't have a ton of experience on naked bikes, so I was really excited to get the chance to drive and ride this one for a while. And it has not disappointed so far. I've also had a personal affinity for this bike because my first street motorcycle I should say, was a Kawasaki Ninja 650. So staying within the brand here on this one, there's definitely some similarities, even though this bike is 12 years newer. Nice quality feeling fuel tank here. You twist that, pops open. You see, we're actually already really quite full. Wow. And I don't recommend brimming your fuel tank ever on your motorcycle, but we have to do it in this case for the sake of science. That's the only way we can get two repeatable fills. Okay, now that we are topped off, we are going to reset the bike's average MPG here, which it looks like it might. Nope, okay. Lots of different functionality here on this multi-function display. Reset that. Let's go and reset our trip A as well. And we are ready to head out. Now in the meantime, you can enjoy this time lapse of the entire trip. back and all fueled up here with the Z500. And I gotta say, I was pleasantly surprised with my comfort level after an hour and a half in the saddle. You do get pushed forward a good bit on this seat, so you're kind of hugging up against the tank here, which I can see we've got some tank pads right here with the SE Special Edition here, but I wasn't feeling cramped up against the seat. It's just kind of the natural seating position on this bike. It's really pushing you into an active riding position. I was worried about my legs feeling a little cramped, but did not end up being the case. And obviously on the highway sections, I was getting a good amount of wind, but I typically ride with earplugs in for longer rides like this, so it wasn't too big of a deal. I was actually pleasantly surprised. The bike, with its readout, was giving us 57.2 by the time we got back to the station. It's giving us 57.0 right now. You can see there. But we have the actual tank readout right here of 0.721 gallons. And we traveled 41.5 miles. So let's do a little math. 41.5 miles divided by 0.721 gallons is giving us, wow, a pretty darn accurate figure. 57.5. 57.2 is what the bike was giving us, so it's going to get the slight bump up to 58 miles per gallon here for the Kawasaki Z500 on the Daily Motor Commuter fuel economy test. I think that's a pretty good figure for the power numbers this bike's putting out, and I was riding it plenty quickly. I mean, there were definitely lights I was getting up and blitzing away from and having fun. We twisted it really hard going up to top of the world, so not too bad of a figure. Kawasaki gives you a 3.7 gallon fuel tank in here, so 3.7 gallons times that 58 MPG figure. It's giving you an effective daily cruising range of 210 miles right here on the Z500 from Kawasaki. So if you plan on getting a bike and doing commuting with it, this is one that's going to get you pretty good fuel economy, be very fun to ride around, and maybe a little bit less storage space than some other options, but you get yourself something like this Helite H-Move backpack that I've got on. Gives you airbag protection as well as a place to put stuff and a little water bladder action going on too. So thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to see more on the Z500, check the link below, and we'll see you on the next one. I'm Charlie from Daily Motor, and as always, ride on.